Arsenal FC have signed Viktor Gyökeres to a £63.5 million fee. Arsenal, who have finished second place for 3 years in a row in the Premier League, have finally got their number 9. Obviously, if you finish second place for 3 years in a row in the Prem, you're obviously a very, very great team. However, you have this hump that you gotta get over. You don't have to break up the whole team, blow everything up. You just gotta make some tweaks and adjustments to the team that you already have. Obviously, their biggest weakness last year was not having a true number 9 out there with that killer instinct to go finish goals for them. Many, many times last year, the ball had been placed in very dangerous areas on the field. However, due to a lack of number 9 out there with these killer instincts of scoring the ball and getting into these areas, they couldn't capitalize on it. Set piece FC last year because they couldn't score off open play. Most of their goals came from set pieces, corners, free kicks, and all of that. Arsenal were 7th in open play goals behind Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Fulham, Brentford, and Brighton. They were number 1 in set pieces goals in the league as well. This is a huge worry when you're behind those teams, when you're trying to win the league. Realistically, a team like Brighton and Brentford and Fulham should not have more open play goals than you. Like, realistically, how are you going to contend in the Premier League if you're scoring these many open play goals? There's too many good teams in the Prem for you to be lacking in such a big area like that. This is why they struggled last year. Bukayo Saka is one of the best playmakers in the Premier League. Bukayo had an historical start last year. He assisted a goal in each of Arsenal's first 5 league games of the season, which equals Thierry Henry is the only Premier League player to do this, as he did it in the 2004 and 05 season. Not only did he do that, he also had the fewest matches to reach 10 assists in a season, only behind Ozil, Kane, and Fabregas. However, most of those came off of set pieces. Around half of his assists were actually from set pieces last year. Imagine what this guy can do now with a number 9 right beside him that is willing to make runs, willing to go on behind of the defense, willing to be in these dangerous areas. Another player that will benefit a lot from this is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard isn't a number 10 that's known for his striking or goal-scoring abilities. He's not like a Marmoush type of player. He's more of a creative type of player who's trying to get other players set up and create something out of nothing. With the Delhi number 9 in front of him that's going to constantly make runs, constantly getting behind the defense and get into these dangerous areas, I know that Martin Odegaard's game is going to elevate. Do not let this picture fool you. This guy is still garbage. You guys need a finisher, a person that can finish goals, not a bodybuilder. This isn't fooling me. Arsenal love to do a lot of fullback overlapping plays where the wingers will get the ball and the fullbacks will overlap, put the ball into deadly areas in the middle of the field. However, the problem is that they have Kai Havertz and Mikel Merino as their strikers. These two are not strikers. They don't have that striker mentality, that striker instincts to get into these dangerous areas and make those runs that needed to be made last year. There are many instances where the ball will be put in these dangerous areas. However, Mikel Merino and Kai Havertz are nowhere to be found. Let's be honest, Arsenal are not a bad team at all. They're actually a very, very good team. They have one of the better elite defenses in the world. They have a very, very, very good midfield who I feel like are going to only get better and better, especially with the striker that they signed. Their only really concern, to be honest with you, was their attack. Their lack of creativity, their lack of scoring. That's honestly why they were called Set Piece FC last year.
Oh, set piece again, ole ole! Set piece again, ole ole! Set piece again, set piece again, set piece again, ole ole!
They were clowned that they need an open field coach. It's a different game now with a killer number 9 out there. Odegaard has shown what he can do with a number 9 that's willing to make runs, that has this physical presence to him. When he played with Erling Haaland in Norway in the international games. Now, in no way am I comparing Viktor Gyökeres to Haaland, but they both have tendencies of making those runs and having that physical presence to them with that finishing ability. Another one of Viktor's great abilities is his ability to press the ball. He is a powerful, fast runner who is willing to chase the defenders around, which is perfect for a team like Arsenal, who's constantly pressing the ball, which is a great sign if you're an Arsenal fan. As you guys know, every great team in the world has to be able to press at a high level. Look at teams like PSG, Liverpool, and Barcelona. And a little off topic, and this is why I think a team like Madrid aren't as good as they are on paper as they are in games, but that's a whole different discussion. Viktor will also change the shape of this team. Viktor will play more on the defensive line, where he'll play between the center backs and push that defensive line backwards. Merino and Kai Havertz weren't doing that last year. They were kind of playing in the midfield, and it's not like these two are great false 9s. They really didn't have any type of identity out there when they were playing at that number 9 position. Also, a guy like Odegaard isn't your typical number 10. He isn't someone that likes to play next to the striker. He's someone that will occasionally come down and receive the ball from the number 6, play around in these deep areas. So to have a number 9 that will actually stay up there and actually push the defensive line will be a great plus for them. and would honestly allow a player like Odegaard to just roam around wherever he needs to be. And to give Odegaard that freedom is a great thing for Arsenal. So to cap things off, overall I'd give this signing an A+. But the real question is, do I think that this is enough to contend for the Prem next year with all these great teams, Liverpool's new signings, City's new signings, and Chelsea coming off an incredible Club World Cup win? My answer would be yes. They are a team that were very great last year, that performed not only in the Premier League, but also in the Champions League, where they beat teams like Madrid. They have shown all season that they can beat big teams and play these big games with the best of the best, and truly only had one weakness out there, which they addressed with this signing. So I see no reason for them not to truly compete next year and actually go out there and try to win the league. And if they don't, a guy named Mikel Arteta is gonna get booted. Booted.